Welcome and welcome back to another video on the channel for all the new and returning subscribers and or viewers on this sunny day here in New York. It's perfect weather outside. My name is Mike. Today I'll be discussing blocking, setting boundaries, going no contact. Not exclusively in that order, but I must ask that if you can resonate with these topics or you can relate with what I'm saying here, please hit the thumbs up, comment your thoughts, opinions, wisdom. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. And please subscribe. Thank you too. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I wanted to get into the whole blocking thing first, because that's exactly what you must do when that narcissistic abusive cycle in question comes to an end. You got to block, you got to delete, and you got to go no contact in that order. Block and delete in that order. Okay? Just remember that. Because if you don't do that in that order, guess what happens? The narcissist will attempt to hoover you or try to reach you somehow in some way, shape, or capacity, or even if they don't. Let's say even if they don't hoover you. Side note, don't accept the hoover. Don't accept their fake apology sucking you back into that hellhole of a relationship. But whatever it was, familial, romantic, business, whatever, friendship, the list goes on. It's not mutually exclusive to just one area, but the point is you have to block and delete. And even if they don't hit you up or contact you, it's just the premise behind it. That is what's important, because it shows that, shows yourself that you are strong and you are able and you are independent to decipher these kinds of things, that you don't have to be at the narcissist's mercy anymore. You don't have to pick up the phone at first ring anymore. You don't have to be anyone's punching bag anymore, whether it be literally or figuratively. But yeah, true stories. But you don't have to be any of that anymore. And just think, was the narcissist ever really there for you when you'd call them? I mean, maybe in the euphoric stage, like when you first met them or something like that. But things change, people change all the time, including myself. But I will never stoop to that kind of a low. But I digress. The point is, you must block and delete these people, these creatures, excuse me. I don't give them the pleasure of referring to them as people. They are creatures. Now, let's get into setting boundaries. Now, that is setting a boundary in the first place, right? Going no contact, and a strong no contact at that, blocking and deleting in that order. I mean, if you don't close any and all avenues to communication, whether that be on the phone, whether that be on social media, or whether that be in person even, whether it be through the mail, physical mail, email, I don't know. But all of that is possible. I've gotten snail mail from the narcissist before. I don't know how they found out where I live and stuff. But I've served the narcissist a cease and desist letter more than once. So I think I've given a clear and concise message that I do not want to be communicated with ever again. And if you should do so, well, then I'll have to sort it out legally or something. But I haven't heard a word since. But don't ever let your guard down. Don't ever let your guard down just because they don't call you, or just because they don't send you mail, or just because they don't add you as a friend or something like that online doesn't mean that they're not thinking about you. That doesn't mean that they wouldn't answer if you went back, crawling back to them. I mean, they might not. But if they do, they're just gonna do the same thing to you all over again. It's time to find new people, not just with new interests or any of that stuff, but people with genuinity, people with a heart, people who can be peaceful, silent, and tranquil. Or those kinds of people who you feel that way around them. You need to find them and keep them close. Keep your circle small. especially in wake of that narcissistic abusive relationship. If you have to delete some numbers, block and delete in that order, right? If you have to do that on your phone book, then do it. I just did it a few times this morning, just going through some old numbers. I'm like, who's this person again? Like, oh yeah, whatever. You know, like, you have to start fresh. You have to turn over a new leaf after said narcissistic abusive relationship. However long it's been, whether it's been 2 months or 2 years or 5 or 10, or I don't know. Everyone's circumstances are different, and it also depends on the context it's in, right? Like, not even mutually exclusive to that, as I said before, but you have to close any and all avenues. I'm just going to leave it like that for that. And going no contact, permanent no contact. As I emphasized before, you must, and I repeat, you must not ever go back to that narcissist, and you must be much more vigilant, and you must vet people much more closely nowadays. Because if you don't, you're susceptible to not just a Hoover or anything that, but not just that, or, you know, the love bomb, whatever they like to call it. When they try to, when I say they, I mean the narcissist, they try to, you know, get in your good graces. And just like when you were picking up the phone at first ring, hi, how's it going? And they tell you, they just use you as a punching bag about how much their life sucks and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, they didn't ask, like, they would seldomly so ask, oh, what about you? Like, how's your day going? Like, how are you feeling? Are you sure? Follow-up questions like that. Do you know how much that means? A lot. But narcissists are incapable of not only taking accountability for when they break boundaries, when they destroy them, when they even go so far as to disrespectfully go against your wishes, contact you anyway. You know, say you block them on your phone. Well, if you don't block them on social media either, if you have one, don't have one, well, there's that. Like, they're still going to find a way. Then when there's a will, there's a way. But you must also apply that same logic and reason to yourself, because you're the only logical and reasonable one in the room. At least when the room is only occupied with you and the narcissist, or the narcissists, plural. Right? You have to really take what I'm saying to heart. Like, you really have to consider what I'm saying. Here's what I'm trying to say before I start to wrap up this video. But it's imperative for you to do this. It's imperative for your healing, your growth, your introspection, and again, your peace, silence, tranquility, your sanctity, your overall health and well-being, which also all take a hit in all different forms. I'll probably make a follow-up video to that soon. But it is absolutely imperative that you go no contact, guys. I truly do mean that. Now I'm gonna be ready to close out this video now. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you consider what I'm saying and apply it to your own lives. I wish you nothing but the best on this healing journey. It's deeply personal to me, and I'm sure it is to you. So, again, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is Mike. Take care, and goodbye.